Hey, the YouTube is Gundude73 making another knife review, and today we're looking at a really big knife, the K-Bar Becker BK9 Combat Bowie. Now, the BK9 is a really nice, large knife, in my opinion. You know, if you want a knife that you can take and do a lot with, I think this is a great option. This is stock, by the way. My other Becker, my BK2, I decided to sort of, put the micarta, get a new sheath. For this one, I just wanted to leave it stock for a little while, and so far I'm liking it. We'll talk about the sheath first. That's the major downside of this knife. This is your sort of floppy, just nylon sheath. I do like that it has this little pouch that can store the BK13, the Remora. You can see it's a plastic insert right there, and the knife fits right in there. It's designed to. You also get this elastic closed pouch, which has some room. I mean, you could put a folder in there, you could put an Altoids tin in here, you could put tinder in there if you still wanted, and because it has that elastic and the fold over, it's not going to be coming out. So that's nice. One thing the knife does not do is stick in the sheath or retain. If that clasp is undone, the knife will just slide out. This clasp holds the knife in. So with this done, just like that, the knife ain't coming out. But with that undone, it'll fall out. One thing I was glad to see when I got this, as opposed to my BK2, was the sheath belt loop on this is perfect width. It's not overly wide, so this doesn't you don't have any issues of the knife being like that on your belt or tipping forward or backwards. It's nice and good to go. Has some grommets down there and some up here as well, so you can put paracord through here and perhaps even further secure the knife in. So overall, the sheath is decent. I mean, it's not a super expensive knife. It's not like the SE Junglist, where you're paying more for the sheath because you're getting an awesome sheath. This is a very basic sheath. I mean, will it work? Yes, it will work. But it's not going to blow your socks off. That brings us to the knife. BK9 is awesome in my opinion. And for the money, I think it's great. I've seen it from anywhere from around $70 to $80, and a little more, a little less, depending. You can get this from tacticaldefender.com and use a coupon code GD73 for 10% off your order. And I think that even if you're paying around 80, 82, even up to 90 bucks, I still think you're getting a steal of a deal. I mean, this is a big knife. It has a 9-inch blade. And it has, they call it the Combat Bowie, but to me that's not really a Bowie shape. A little bit. Like right there, perhaps. Just the tip. But this part back here doesn't look very Bowie-ish to me. It's a loose interpretation, but I still do like it. You get the swedge, which is nice. It's a good 3/16 of an inch thick. It's not too thin, not too thick. It's light. It's about a pound. So to put it in perspective, this weighs as much as my BK2 does, probably lighter. So and you get a whole lot more blade, and this thing chops super well. You could see my chopping video I put up about a week ago, and it did pretty well. This knife has a sort of a sweet spot for chopping, and for me it's like right in here. And when I chop, I hold the knife back here so I can get even more speed coming down. And one thing you may be noticing is that this is very similar looking to the BK10 Crewman I reviewed. Basically it's a stretched out blade, so I think that's kind of nice. Has that same angular design. Has a thumb ramp with big thick jimping. Not as aggressive as the camelist jimping on the BK10, but still pretty good. I like it. You can see nice thumb ramp. One thing that's awesome about this knife is since you get all this room, if you were to take this knife with you as your only knife for a trip or a camping outing or whatever, you'd be set. Because I mean, you can chop up here, so you have chopping ability. And if you want, you have this whole unspoiled edge here, which is a few inches long, to do detail work. See what I mean? So if you're chopping up here, this part isn't getting dull. it's still razor sharp. Same thing with the tip area. You can get some great detail work out of that tip. So you can get a lot out of this one knife. This knife can chop, it can do the detail work you need, tip work if needed. It does much of everything pretty well. The handle is the same good Becker handle. Like I said, I left the Grivery on this one. Here's the K-Bar Becker micarta, just as an aside. The difference between these two, texture-wise, the micarta has a bit more texture in my opinion, but this has an interesting texture. When I first got this, I immediately put the micarta on and didn't give the Grivery a chance. And for this, it feels good. It's comfortable. It's a little slick in use, like if your hands get sweaty, you may want to wipe them down because you may lose your knife if you were to be chopping and have sweaty hands and getting fatigued. But the handle does sort of prevent that from happening. So, I mean, overall, the main advantage to the Grivery, it's light. It's super lightweight. The downsides, in my opinion, it's not very tough. I dropped this knife the first day I had it, and it gouged the handle a little bit. So, keep that in mind. And also, if you drop this in a fire, goodbye. Even if you were to take it out, like, right away, that's melted. It's gone. Where my micarta would just be burned. Not, like, melted or anything. It'd still be usable. It'd just kind of look ugly. This would be unusable. So, great knife. Highly recommended. Check out Tim at Tactical Defender if you want to get one. Use coupon code GD73. And let's get some size comparisons here. We have the BK9 and the Becker BK2. Much different in terms of blade length, in my opinion. You have the SE6, similar in terms of thickness, just much shorter. Very nice. We have the K-Bar, this standard, like, fighting utility knife. Closer in size, but still much smaller. We have the SE RC3, much tinier. We have the Becker BK14 and the SE Azula. You can see they're much smaller as well. Very small knives. Basically, the Becker makes everything smaller by comparison. So, yeah, if you guys just want a big knife to have fun with and for some serious chopping work and woodwork, take a look at the BK9. It's a great affordable option. So, that's the review, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.